Okay, we're bringing the board meeting to order for September 28th, 2023. Let's go ahead and, I have to do the roll call. Trustee Gust.
Here.
Trustee Jensen.
Here.
Trustee Miller.
Here.
Trustee Addison.
Here.
Trustee Siddig.
Here.
Trustee Wells.
Here.
Attorney Ferrolo.
Here.
Mayor Hooker is absent and Clerk McDonald is here. Okay, I can do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could I make a motion that we appoint Trustee Miller to be the acting mayor for the evening? President Pro Tem is what I meant to say.
Second.
The acting mayor, President Pro Tem for the evening.
Okay, and I'll do the roll call. Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddig.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Congratulations, Mayor, President, Pro Tem.
Were we going to put a 30-minute time limit on that appointment? Or we just... Yeah, you can renew it 7:32.
Okay, so the first item on our agenda tonight is public comment. And would you like to comment now or comment later? Public.
I'm going to comment now just because my special guest is
Okay.
Okay.
We love a special guest.
Hey, how old are you? He's
2.
No, 2.
2. You come right here.
So cute.
This is my son, AJ. He's 2.
Hey, AJ.
He came with me tonight, so hopefully he's good for a few minutes. I sent an email to you guys earlier this week with some new videos, some new stuff that's been going on Beach Road, and I just want to again hammer home that this is the stuff that we live with every day. Did everybody get a chance to see the videos?
Yes.
I did. Yeah.
So it's not new. I did today also forward a copy of the police report that went along with the street bike racing that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, like I said, part of the reason why I brought AJ with me tonight is because I just wanted to hammer home that, our house is 30 feet from the edge of the road, and AJ's bedroom is 30 feet from the edge of the road. And all it's going to take is one of those trucks or one of those vehicles that's flying to come out of control, and it's going to be very bad. And I just wanted to show you guys, obviously I like taking him with me everywhere I go, but this is what we're protecting. This is what I'm in it for. So, on top of the videos that I sent over and the picture that I sent over, I did also last meeting I made a comment about an employee from the county named Stephen Ducci, who was driving down a road at a high rate of speed. And I ended up having a conversation with the sheriff's deputies about him. Well, after speaking with him, it turns out he's not a bad guy, and he understood and agreed with me about a lot of things on the road. And he wrote a letter that I want to read to you guys, and then I'll get a copy of it for you as well. So I'll go ahead and read that now. It says, "Good evening, Mr. Hutchison. After speaking with you earlier this week, it did make me think more about my recent experience going down Beach Road towards the Waukegan Sports Park. It made me realize how unsafe the current conditions are. Although I cannot speak for the county, I personally think it is alarming that the only road that leads to the park is down your residential road and in such a weird spot. I instantly realized how dangerous the situation could have been. First time I turned on the road and was hit by a huge glare, causing unsafe driving conditions. The police speedometers that were posted should also be posted sooner, in my opinion, as people unaware may not realize soon enough, like myself, after it started flashing, that the speed limit on Green Bay Road, which is 45 miles an hour, goes down to 30 miles an hour. After speaking with you and learning about how late games go and how many people come down this road, it scares me to think about how many dangerous situations could arise if the issue is not resolved. As someone who cares about public safety, I hope you have success in making your neighborhood and road conditions safer. Hopefully the township can add a separate entrance or do something to deter people from driving down your road recklessly." And that's signed Senior Probation Officer for Lake County Juvenile Probation, Stephen Aducci. So it's not just our neighbors that are seeing what's going on over there. He knew this immediately, and he knew because, like I say, obviously I stopped him because he was traveling too fast, but he knew immediately what happened and recognized the situation. So as we move forward, like I say, I'm all for collecting data, but we need something to happen soon, because every day that we wait, every day that we, wait for something else to happen, or collect more data, or be uncertain about it, and we don't take action, is a day that we're all again at risk. So that's all.
Alan, are you getting pretty good response from the Lake County Sheriff when you call them?
Yeah, the sheriff's giving us pretty good response. You could tell when they're busy and when they're not busy, and that's okay. I know that we always have a beach park car who's dedicated, and I do ask, are you the beach park car? And most of the time that is the case. But what I've started to realize is that the person I started to realize that the beach park car is not always the same car, or always the same deputy. And so what I am finding is that I have to keep basically re-explaining the situation to a bunch of new people who they're doing the right thing, but it would be nice if we had 1 or 2 or 5 people who were basically assigned to this area, typically, so that they, knew the beat, or whatever you want to call it now.
Well, they should all be signing into the UPenn,
Yeah. And I think that they probably do.
and whether or not they read it, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's how the shift officers, the beach park cars, and the liaison that comes to our meetings is to relay the message so everyone knows what's going on, is through the UPenn system.
Yeah. And I'm thankful for what we have, but I think that it could be a lot better. I think it could be a lot more streamlined. And I think that, this is my personal opinion, but a lot of the issues that we're having where Beach Park has essentially become the spot to do things illegal, racing and the issues that we're seeing on Sheridan Road and the parties and things that get out of control. I think a lot of that is because they know that, we will be dealing with the county, and that's something that they're maybe not the same person is showing up every time. Maybe that's, maybe it's an easier thing to get away with as opposed to a smaller community police force where, the same officer is going to show up and not take it again a second time because they've already been through
But they're
everything.
still paid.
So, well, no, I understand
You
that.
know.
I understand that. I'm just,
I was hoping our sheriff's deputy was going to be here tonight because I had many questions for him.
yeah.
And unfortunately, he's not here tonight for me to get some answers. So
I did see that they removed the speed board today. So I don't know if you guys have seen any of the data from the Lake County Sheriff's side, but if not, you should definitely request it, because with the board out of there, they hopefully pulled the data and it should be available. So I was going to give them a couple of days and then ask records for a copy of it as well.
It was the county's board that was there most recently?
Both boards were there.
Oh, ours.
So the county's board is there, and it was more eastern, facing east, so capturing westbound traffic.
Westbound, okay.
Yep. But what I'm going to, and then our board, our city board, our village board was there as well, but it was at the entrance to the cell tower. But what I was going to tell you is, I believe that all the results that we're getting on our board are skewed because everybody would come down the road, the sheriff's board would display their speed and they would slow down. And then our board would capture their speed as they continued westbound, because ours was further west, but facing east. So I see now that our board has been shuffled to the other side of the road and turned around, so it is facing westbound to capture eastbound traffic, which is good. I think that you're going to get a good, a better data out of that.
do those work on solar?
They do. Yeah, they're solar
Yeah,
powered.
we've been cloudy for a few days.
I know that ours has been in what they call stealth mode, where it doesn't display, it just records. So, but
Hi.
so, but
Well,
yeah,
you'll be able to tell when the cars are lined up, backed up for an event ending, because the speeds will go way down, but the count will be up, because it counts
yeah.
as well as
Well,
speeds.
and that's what I've kind of told you guys since the beginning. It's two issues. It's two separate issues. There's a volume issue, and then there's a speed issue when there's not a volume issue.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So again, I appreciate the time to talk. I'm going to give you this paper copy of the letter, Mark, and I will get you an email electronic copy for the file. But yeah, again, as always, help us. What can we do? What can we do today? What can we do to mitigate the risk today? Because that's what we've got. It's a risk every single
We
day.
talked about temporary speed bumps and things like that put in. Do we have those readily available?
They're not hard to get.
They're not hard to get?
Yeah.
Okay, is
I
that
know.
something we can look at and bring to the board?
We We've talked about it. We're looking at a couple other things too, the road configuration and stuff, but yeah, permanent solutions.
But for something temporary, is that something we can bring forward quickly?
Yeah, the problem is as much as that would solve the issue of speed, it would help
A
alleviate
temporary
the
until
issue.
we get to a permanent.
My worry is that it would compound the volume problem. And as we are in the end of September and nearly October, we probably have another 4 to 6 solid weeks of this. But we're in the ramp down right now. It's gonna be better. So by the time we implement a solution like speed bumps, you're probably just gonna hinder yourself in terms of doing plowing and public works activities out there. So I think that we just really need to have a very solid plan going into next year. And if the plan is not the road is no longer an access point for the park, which is what all the neighbors want, then we need to have a very, very locked down, solid plan of what we can do to control both the volume and the speed issues. So, and again, I'm happy to discuss that with you guys and share anything I have, any footage or data and anything I have. So
Alan, does the Waukegan Park District have their own meetings? Do you know?
the park district does have their own meetings.
Have you ever gone to one of those?
I have. They limit me to 2 minutes. And
2 minutes.
yeah, and every time I go down there, I've been to maybe 4 or 5 of them, a few recently, but it was made very clear when I was at that meeting that my opinion doesn't matter. And the Waukegan Park District is still very much of the opinion that what is going on over there is perfectly safe, and they want to continue doing that forever. So they're not interested in changing anything because it's the least amount of money for them to output right now. So we've had this discussion with them. I've had this discussion with Lynn Florian, who is the ward alderperson for District 8, who is in charge of their area covers the sports park. And there's just not much that they're willing to do, especially since I'm not even a Waukegan resident. They see me as not their problem. I can't vote for them, so I'm not their problem. And I hate that that's where we're at, but that's very much the way that it is. So, and not only just me, my other neighbor, Victor, who usually comes with me. Victor's been down to those meetings with me. We've been down to the zoning board meeting for Waukegan. It's been a very long time since I've been to a Waukegan city meeting, but having spoken with the alderperson, they know what we're seeing. So
I wonder if they realize that the speed signs are up and engaged as much as they are, the traffic speed.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
Because that doesn't happen without merit, There has to be a reason for the sheriff to do that.
I hear what you're saying. I think that they're not going to do anything unless somebody makes them. They're in a position where they don't have to change anything. It's not benefiting them. It's going to cost them money to change something. But, all along, we've always talked about a bridge. We need to put a bridge in so that we can get over that creek so that they can finish what's going on over there and get their own entrance. But that's really the wrong term. After seeing what we did, hey, excuse me, come here. After seeing what we did on Manor Avenue, we don't need a bridge. We need a culvert. That's what we installed on Manor Avenue. And what was installed on Manor Avenue is many times larger and more intense than what needs to be put in over there. The creek is barely 4 feet wide. And the road exists all the way to the creek on both sides. It used to be a cart path. And if you look in the construction photos from when the park was put in, they have a cord road that they were driving and excavating equipment on, dump trucks and all kinds of stuff that leads right up to that bridge on the other side. They need 800 feet of pavement and a culvert, and this problem goes away. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for us to force their hand into finishing that, which is what they should have done from the beginning and what their executive director, Greg Petrie, at the time promised that would be done in 2009. Stood in front of our neighborhood and promised our residents that that's what's going on. So that's what I'm looking for. I want them to be encouraged to do that. Once that happens, then there is no more speed problem. There is no more volume problem. There is no more trash problem. There is no more racing problem. There isn't. It's all gone. It's back in Waukegan. Excuse me. It's back in Waukegan where it's supposed to be, for their facility.
Well, a couple of the videos that you had shared with us, I just thought that a couple of those were a bit disturbing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if our administration reached out to the sheriff's department to hand out some citations over there on Beach Road.
Yeah, we've had them.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Do we know how many citations they've written?
No, I don't have
Yeah, I was hoping they were here tonight.
Over the years, I know that they've written quite a few citations up there. I've seen speed, I've seen parking. I even saw somebody's vehicle getting pounded. Somebody's vehicle getting pounded and towed because they didn't even have valid credentials to be in the United States. So that was something that happened one day too. But yeah, I don't know that tickets are going to fix this because they are still having. I mean, even just last weekend, this tournament or whatever that they were having, we were seeing license plates from Pennsylvania, and those people aren't going to come back again. They're going to come here and they're going to drive down the road over speed, or a
Just
million
like
of
they do
them.
for the air show.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's up to us to get back to a neighborhood that we can live in. I mean, it says it on our sign. We're supposed to be a village of rural living. My neighborhood's anything but rural. I live on a highway. He sleeps 30 feet from a highway. So you had about enough? So at any rate,
Telling you.
like I say, I very much appreciate the time, and we will take our loud show and probably go get some chicken nuggets and head out. So,
Good idea. All right.
unless you guys have any other questions for me.
Thank you, Alan.
No, thank you. Thank you for keeping us informed.
Come here. Ready? Get some knuckles. Ready?
Uh-oh.
Ready?
Knuckles for everyone. Boom.
Yes.
Sandwich.
Right here.
Boom.
Hey, big guy. Hi.
His face. Did he pick up his truck? Or his car?
It's in the back. It's in the back row.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping he missed it because it looked nice. I was going to keep it.
I'll send you. You can have this one.
Okay, so next item on our
Hi, AJ.
agenda is the consent agenda, and this includes approval of the village board regular meeting minutes from September 14th, 2023, bills presented for payment in the amount of $149,622.61, the August 2023 finance report, and the August 2023 public safety report.
Move approved.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Jensen, second by trustee Otterson. Madam Clerk?
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells. Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Number 4, the mayor's report. No report from the mayor that I'm aware of. So we're on to trustee reports, and the first item up is trustee Jensen. Finance.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, President Mayor Pro Tem. Next meeting of the Finance Committee will be October 24th, 6 p.m. upstairs. I have an agenda item here. The annual treasurer's report for the fiscal year ending August 30, 2023. I have no paperwork to go with that, though I trust our finance director might have something. There's nothing in my packet.
Oh, well, it's already on, okay, sorry. Since we had discussed it at the finance committee meeting, I didn't really prepare a cover sheet, but this is the annual reporting of the treasurer's status that we usually present to the board for information, and then we publish it in the paper as required.
Okay, that concludes my report.
All right, very good. Parks and Recreation, trustee Gust.
Thank you. No report tonight, Your Honor.
Okay. Planning, Building, and Zoning, trustee Wells.
Thank you, Honor. No report.
Next is Public Relations and IGA. I have nothing tonight. Public Safety, trustee Siddick.
Thank you. I actually do have an item for discussion. Starts with, I was hoping the sheriff's department was here because I had many questions for them. But I am going to reflect back to an email that we had gotten from administration on the infamous American Inn. That's the CAD reports. The arrest report coming through about crack cocaine and firearms being recovered, and again at this place of business. Last time it were firearms other related things. And I had a lot of questions for the sheriff's department, but I'm wondering if we could revisit this and how this can take place under our nuisance ordinance, because I believe our nuisance ordinance does state that 3 or more major violations and to eventually remove their business license. This has gone on for almost 20 years that I'm aware of. And there's kids that live there. There's predators, registered predators that are at this facility. I don't know how often that's being monitored, but I just wondered that if we can revisit our nuisance ordinance and talk to the sheriff's department on this and see what can be done. But most importantly, I'd like to figure out how this can be tied in. There were discussions in the past, and we have a new administration now, and I would like to bring this back forward. And if it has to come back to the Public Safety Committee meeting, I'm sure the committee would be happy to review this.
Has this business license been revoked in the past?
No,
It's not, okay.
it has not.
That's not, I mean, I'm just asking for information.
Right. No, it has not. And many serious violations have taken place, and it's never ending out there. And there are very violent crimes that are taking place at that facility.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll work with staff on that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And I think that is all I had for this evening.
Yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't do Beach Park any good, certainly,
doesn't.
reputation
It's a
wise.
huge black eye. that
Yeah.
would be.
Yeah.
So, that concludes my report.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Thank you. And now Public Works, Trustee Otterson.
Thank you. I have one item on the agenda tonight, and that would be a pay request for the water main project on Wadsworth Road. We have pay application number 3 from Campanella and Sons. It's been gone through by the consultants and the staff, and they agree with the amounts and quantities. This is not a final payment yet. This is just the third installment as they go. So I would make a motion that we approve application number 3 from Campanella and Sons for work completed on the water main interconnect project on the amount of $585,939.72.
Motion by Trustee Otterson, second by Trustee Gust. Any questions? For the call the roll.
Okay. Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Hi.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Is that it?
Oh, yes, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
That completes the Public Works.
Okay, thank you. And last is the TIF committee, and I take it there's no updates from the TIF committee at this point, so.
We did not have a meeting this week.
Okay, did not. All right, number 6, staff reports. Looks like we have a resolution to consider.
Yes, Madam President Pro Tem, we have a resolution revising our director for the Lake County Land Bank. The director for Lake County Land Bank, Nimrod Warda would be the primary representative for the village of Beach Park, and the administrator, myself, would be the secondary for our representative in the land bank. It used to be myself and the mayor. Mr. Warda has much more experience with the land bank operations and things of that nature, better suited for us. So
Okay. Do we have a
I
motion?
would make a motion to pass a resolution appointing the local government director to the Lake County Land Bank.
And we'll second it.
Again, a motion by Trustee Otterson, second by Trustee Gust. If there are no questions, we'll call the roll, please.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Hi.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gust.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye. And the motion carries.
Congratulations to you both.
Yeah. Right. More work for the new guy. Oh, okay. No, and next item is old business. I see nothing under old business. Under new business, we have a bill to pay from HMG Engineering totaling $45,202.70.
I'll move
And
approve.
anybody? Motion by trustee Jensen, second by trustee Gust. No questions? We can call the roll, please.
Trustee Siddiq,
Aye.
trustee Wells,
Aye.
trustee Gust,
Aye.
trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Abstain.
Very good. Motion passed, carries. Okay, second opportunity for any citizens who might want to address the board. Come forward, please.
Just in time.
That's right.
Yeah. Can you
Good
tell
evening.
us your name and your address?
Yes, Victor Romero, 12676 West Beach Road, Beach Park. And I'm just here to reiterate some of the concerns that my neighbor Alan already presented to you. And, our concern as residents of, Beach Road with what's happening. I mean, it's, I thought that the signs will help a little bit, and that's not happening. People are just crazy. I thought that this fall the traffic will die down, and things will improve, but unfortunately that's not the case. So once again, I just want to express my concern for the situation that we're living, currently, and hopefully, something can be done sooner rather than later, to address that.
Mr. Romero, are you having to call the Lake County Sheriff's as well as Mr. Hutchinson?
We do from time to time. Unfortunately, I don't get home until the evening, and so I, a lot of the times, I don't see a lot of things that he experienced. He's home earlier, so he caught a lot of the bad traffic, a lot of the speeding, the racing, a lot of those things that are going on the street. Unfortunately for me, I can only see, by the time I get home, the traffic has already died down. So I don't see those things personally. But every now and then we have experienced a couple of situations when we call the sheriff's department. One situation that we experienced a few months ago was a couple of people on a Tesla that pull into the street, park in front of my house, and my wife and I, we were in the front of the house by the garage, and it was strange that someone just parked in front of our property. All of a sudden, we noticed that they have their phones, pointing towards the street, and this guy just took off. Just flew down Beach Road towards the park. So I followed them into the park, and I went and I talked to them, and I asked them, how fast they drove down. They did not recognize me, and I asked them, hey, how fast did you drove your vehicle? And he told me, they were both laughing, and they told me we hit 90, which 90 miles an hour on a 2-lane road, it's insane, and it's unsafe. So it just, I personally called the sheriff department. They showed up. I gave them, I showed them a picture of the vehicle, a picture of the two individuals that were in the vehicle, the license plate. But unfortunately, he told me that he couldn't do anything because he did not witness the event.
Did they take a report for you?
He just gave me his information. He did not do any report or anything like that. So I do have, the
Deputy's
sheriff's,
name.
the deputy's information. But that's what he told me, that he couldn't do anything, even though I told him, this is the vehicle. I describe him. I give him I show him the pictures, the license plate of the vehicle. He told me he couldn't do anything, whether that is true or not, you know, I don't know.
But a report, he was not able to
He
take
was,
a
he
report
told
for
me
you,
that
give
he
you
wasn't able
report
to
number
make
on
a
your
report or
complaint.
anything like that because he did not witness, you know, the event. you know,
How long ago
happening.
was this?
It was 2 months ago. It was
Oh.
in the middle of the summer.
Okay.
So
And it was after like a weekday, weeknight?
it was on a Thursday around 5, you know, 5
Oh, okay.
5 o'clock. So
It should be reflected on the activity report, even if there wasn't a report. The
Something,
calls,
the
Something.
the
call.
calls are all reflected on the report. There's just no report number if they didn't file a report. So if that would
I
be
would think
needed.
that would be something significant enough to.
that's what I assume, and that's why that's why we call the sheriffs because to me, even though he didn't witness it, I assume that just by giving the description and giving the information that I was able to gather, he would have been able to do something about it. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I don't know if we should pursue that further than that with the sheriff's department at that point, but
Well, I'm not familiar enough with how their processes work, so I couldn't say. I don't know.
it bothers me because number one, nothing was done. They did attend they did show up, they did attend my call. But what bothers me the most is that I also have a race car. I have a sports car. I'm not going to my neighbor's streets and race down their streets. There's places where you can safely do that if you want to. I don't think it's right for other people to come to Beach Park, especially Beach Road, and do that. I personally don't do that. I wouldn't put anybody in danger by doing such a thing. I just don't understand why people decided to use that street as a racetrack.
Yeah, it's really too bad the deputy isn't here tonight because this would be a good question to pose, but
That's true.
Yeah.
And I might give Alan the information. Maybe he can pursue that and gather some information about it and see if the deputy that showed up that day report anything or report the incident. Well, that's thank you very much for your
Yeah,
time.
thank
and,
you.
hopefully we can do something about it.
thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
keeping us updated. Okay, next is the executive session item. We have no cause tonight for an executive session, so no action to take. One last item.
I would like to offer a motion to adjourn.
Okay, second. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Okay, we are adjourned.
I almost felt the need to say no.
Nice work.
Nice to have you here. I always feel more secure.
You did a great job.
Right here.
You did a great job when I first met you in that election. Remember that?
I do.
Election commission?
Yeah.
That was wild.
That was, yeah, it was Forster.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
Just to look at your faces.
I don't know how many problems,
Yeah.
but he looks really,
He was different.
he's always walking around in shirtless and.
Yeah, he got caught doing some weird things on that property. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was really
I
something.
feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
You know, in a way, but.
Mentally got himself ill. But he would leave messages like, "You're going to jail for all of you and Tucker." Gotta share a cell.
I remember. Thanks, Jim.
Good night, guys.
Thank you, Jim. Likewise.